I thought coming and doing this about 18 hours after the game would actually make me feel better about doing it, but no guys, for the first time ever, I literally could not film a video after that game yesterday. It was absolutely atrocious from minute one, even the walkout. When I watch it back and I see the players come out of the tunnel now, even that gets me annoyed. Welcome back to another video, welcome to the George Benson football channel. Not the traditional intro today because I feel as though, probably for the first time in the lifetime of this channel, I feel as though Chelsea are really in a bit of a predicament. And I don't want to overreact to anything, but, you know, a spade is a spade. And yesterday's performance was abysmal. It was shocking. It doesn't deserve really much praise, if any at all, but we will go into six things. Later on, there was a couple of positives. And I feel as though it's one that we've been calling for a while, and we just don't seem to see it enough. But after what we saw yesterday, in the 3-1 defeat against Arsenal, it's got to happen more. But we're going to get into things. Arsenal, first of all. I don't want to come across as too bitter, but let's be honest. Arsenal this season have been absolutely appalling. And they turned up yesterday. Mikel Arteta made some very brave decisions to drop some of the bigger name players, even in a London derby, where you think that your senior players should be the ones to carry you forward to get you the result. He decided to go with a front three of Smith Rowe, Saka and Martinelli, and it paid off. Arsenal were very good yesterday compared to what we've seen before, but as much as we can credit Arsenal's performance, I think any football fan, whether you're a Chelsea fan, Arsenal fan, neutral football fan watching that game, will have seen and could just firmly agree that Chelsea were diabolical. I'm thinking of lots of different words here. It's normally superlatives of the wonderful, brilliant variety that I want to use when I'm making these videos, but there was, all I did last night was swear for about an hour and a half, which isn't good because I don't like to swear in these videos, and I don't want that to become the nature of what my content is. You know, I don't want to be known as a rage guy who, whenever Chelsea are doing bad, which at the moment it's 3 defeats in the last 4, 3 away defeats in a row, I don't want to become that guy. But if I made a video last night, I would have bloody been that guy. I was super tired, had a good day out yesterday, stayed up late for the game, and I was disappointed. I couldn't believe what I was watching actually at times. But we move into box number 1, and it's Teemo Verna again. It's a red box for Teemo Verna. I will make the statement that I never want to see Teemo Verna play on the wing for Chelsea ever again. I don't want to say that I'm done with him. I know it's now 10 games without scoring a goal in a Chelsea shirt. I'm not done with Teemo Verna, but he's a centre forward. I know that we've been kind of adapting to injuries and whatnot recently, which I also think is a big problem at Chelsea that does need to be worked on. We can't keep getting as many injuries as we are. Teemo Verna is not a winger. He came off after 45 minutes and he could have come off after 20. We see time and time again that when he's playing up front and he's going through the middle, he's brilliant. He runs at players, he takes them on, he burns past them with his pace. When he's on the wing, he looks as though he has no idea what he's doing. And it's been too many games now where I feel as though he's holding the team back right now. I think Teemo Verna's a brilliant player. It was only a few weeks ago that I was singing his praises, but by the way, that's just the nature of football. Things change, things happen. Teemo Verna playing on the wing cannot happen anymore. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I'd rather see a youth player who's a winger come in and actually do the job, because Teemo just cannot play on the wings. He was awful in that first half, and yeah, you know, I said I didn't want to be too hard on the players, but speaking about it from an emotional point of view, you know, I'm a Chelsea fan. There are 2 massive derbies that we look forward to. It's Arsenal and Spurs. Mainly Spurs in terms of the rivalry and the hatred, but Arsenal's up there as well. You know, Spurs don't win trophies. Arsenal have won trophies in the past, so since Chelsea have been like on the trophy scene, Arsenal's always a massive game, not just because of the logistics of West London versus North London, but I watched that game last night and I didn't see anything that got me excited. I didn't see any passion, any drive, but we move into box number 2, and you know what? I've actually forgot what it bloody is, and I'm going to keep rolling with it now. But the next one is Eduard Mendy. We've sung his praises all season long because he has been brilliant. He's made big saves, he's won Chelsea points, he's won us matches at times as well. But yesterday, the penalty. When I see Mendy, when it comes to saving penalties, not only does he seem to guess the wrong way every single time, which obviously means he probably needs to study the players a little bit better, but he also, when he's diving, like I used to be a goalkeeper. I'm not saying I was anywhere near the level of a professional Eduard Mendy. I'm definitely not. He's brilliant compared to me. I'm useless. I'll just save penalties in Baku when Louis Beneventi's taking them. Little shout out to the boy there. Out of position for the free kick. It's a wonderful strike, but, he was nowhere near it. And then the Saka goal, he's off his line, he's in no man's land. I think it was probably a miss hit from Saka, and sometimes, when luck isn't on your side, those ones do go in. But, I can sing Mendy's praises when he's keeping clean sheets and making big saves, but he wasn't really close to any of the goals yesterday. So for that reason, the goalkeeper does get a red box. We move into box number 3, and no surprises, it's another red. And I've given it to Frank Lampard. You guys always call me out here on GBFC saying when Lampard gets something wrong, you tend to sugarcoat it a little bit because you love Lampard and you love what he did as a player. Sometimes when you have these love for individuals, which with Lampard I do, and I think virtually any real Chelsea fan still does love Frank Lampard, but it doesn't mean that in these moments where he's making rash decisions, we can't call him out on it, because we've seen a lot recently that there's been a few things where we don't have this plan B. But yesterday, the main thing that I think Lampard got totally wrong in this game was rushing back Reece James and Ben Chilwell. I thought Chilwell got turned inside out by Saka. I thought Saka was brilliant for Arsenal yesterday. Chilwell didn't look ready. And whether that is he doesn't want to bring Alonso in or he doesn't trust Emerson for a big game like this one, it doesn't matter. You need fit players out on the pitch, and neither Reece James or Ben Chilwell looked at the level that we know they can be at. Reece James, I think, he's always going to come in for criticism for the penalty, but it's not a penalty. I don't know which way you look at that. What is the point in the video assistant referee if he's going to watch it and be like, oh yeah, there's a load of contact, there was nothing. Absolutely nothing, but principally, on the football field, Reece James has got to be the right side of Tierney in order for this to never even occur in the first place. So, poor defending from Reece James there, but the red box for me is for Lampard. I think these players weren't ready to come back into the starting 11. They were pushed in, and, we got turned inside out. Arsenal were very good. They had young players, sprightly players that came in and had a point to prove, Arsenal recently, I went into this game thinking, I don't think I've ever been so confident going into a game away at Arsenal to actually go there and get the results. We were never even close. We had no drive, no passion and determination. And box number 4 is fight. Like this, I mentioned it already earlier. When it comes to a London derby, I don't know if it's because not all of these new players have quite bought into Chelsea as an ethos, as what we are, but normally, when it comes to these derbies, we at least give it a go. Someone actually brought up in the game against West Ham that they were frustrated that there wasn't any bookings and they wanted to see a bit more passion. I turned around after that and said, you know what, we won the game, we don't need bookings. Bookings equals suspensions added on top of injuries is another big problem for Chelsea. But yesterday, there was nothing, no fight, no drive, no passion. We couldn't string more than 2 or 3 passes together. I thought there were a couple of bright moments from Pulisic where, particularly towards the end of the game, where Arsenal already won the game. It's a nice bit of dribbling. Yeah, we won a penalty, and Jorginho, I never want to see Jorginho take a penalty again in a Chelsea shirt. I know I've said when he does score them, it's great, but when he misses, you're like, come on, mate, put your foot through it, bury it. And it's a feeble penalty. And I know it was late in the game, but 3-2 would have probably... It wouldn't have looked good for Arsenal in the way that it should have done, because Arsenal was so much better and they deserved to win by more than a goal. So it was probably fair, really, that we missed that penalty yesterday, because throughout the entirety of the game, if you look at player for player, Chelsea should be beating these lot. We're better than them, yesterday we looked shocking, absolutely shocking, and it's at a point where I don't want to sit here and say that it's a crisis right now at Chelsea already as I spit at the lens, but it's becoming a little bit like that. When you spend 200 plus million, everybody is saying Chelsea have got to succeed now. Lampard needs to take this team from top 4 to title contenders. I agree. And after seeing that, I'm starting to question it completely. But box number 5 is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He came on and he was brilliant. He actually ran at the Arsenal defence. Bright moments again, he put in the nice ball for Tammy Abraham, and even that was almost offside, but we managed to score. Tammy Abraham converted nicely. I thought he did quite well, Tammy, actually, at times yesterday, but he was a little bit isolated. The balls into him were poor. We weren't able to string enough passes together to actually get into shooting positions, to get Tammy Abraham on the end of it. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, I thought, was a very bright spark when he came on. I thought he was excellent. And when he plays like that, you know, he wasn't called upon to start the game, and you got Teemo Verna, who's not even a flipping winger, starting on the wing ahead of him. Callum is thinking, like, when is my chance going to come? And January's around the corner. We know that teams are going to come in for Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's not getting enough football. And after that second half display, I think he's got to start the game against Aston Villa. We need somebody with a point to prove to come in and rejuvenate, re-energise this Chelsea team. Because yesterday, there wasn't enough of it. And I needed to give at least one green because Callum was very good. Box number 6. This is the one that I said it at the beginning of the season when I made a video talking about expectations. I said that this season, we need to use that money that we've spent and the quality of players that we've bought in. At the moment, it's just not working. And I think it's probably the two Germans who are the biggest culprits for this. The title race. After seeing that, and I'm here the next day now because I thought I needed to flipping calm down, as I said at the beginning of the video, because I was frustrated beyond belief last night. I couldn't even sleep afterwards. But I don't know if we can be in this title race conversation anymore. You know, when you lose 3 out of 4 games over Christmas, Christmas is a decisive part of the season. You know, we could go on a great run in the second half of the season, and the players that aren't firing right now might just start turning up. But Liverpool's starting to pull away. Everton are looking good. Spurs, yeah, they've fallen away a little bit, but they'll probably win this weekend too. United are looking good. Leicester as well. There's too many teams that Chelsea are competing with right now, and with the current form that we're in, I can no longer sit here in front of this camera on GBFC and say that I believe we're in the race. I think there's been too many games in recent weeks where not only are we not picking up any points, we're losing, but inconsistent, important time of the year, games that we should be winning and we're not. And if that carries on, Chelsea are going to be in trouble. It's a very difficult game coming up against Aston Villa. They're in very good form. They're scoring goals. They're looking solid at the back. They went down to 10 men yesterday against what I would consider to be an average Palace side, but Palace are never an easy team to beat. And Aston Villa look very good. And I'm seriously worried going into this game. This is not the 6 things that we learned that I wanted for Christmas. It's killed my Christmas, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I've been a shell of myself today, and last night I was absolutely distraught, borderline upset. So, come on Chelsea, sort it out. You've really got to do something now, because we lose to Villa, we're in a mid-table clash. You know, we're actually fighting for the places in the middle of the table just to get a bit of extra cash come the end of the season from the Premier League, let alone Europe. I know it isn't, you know, panic stations, alarm bells ringing everywhere just yet, but it's getting close, and we've really got to turn this around. We're in bad form, away from home in particularly. We don't seem to be able to do anything at this point. We look void of ideas, and the key thing for me yesterday was the fight. You know, I'm watching this game, getting angry at my MacBook because I couldn't watch it on my bloody TV. That didn't work either. And yeah, I want to see something new. I need to see something new because right now, I'm starting to worry. But anyway, let me know the 6 things that you learned in the comments down below. Sorry that this is probably the most depressing video that I've made, and it's a new year coming up, and this one's been a little bit awful for the majority of us. So I want football to start turning it around for us because Chelsea need to do something fast. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's a very difficult video to leave a like on, but it would help me out massively if you could. Roll on Villa, or maybe not roll on Villa, but it's coming up tomorrow. Come on, you Blues.